What's going on, you guys? Thank you for tuning in to the Culture of Health podcast. My name is Austin. I'm the host. And today I want to talk to you guys about the 4-step process that you can take to assume complete ownership of your health. Now, why? Why should you be assuming complete ownership of your health? So not only is this a 4-step process, but I'm also going to give you 4 different reasons. And the first is that it's your body and your experience. I'm not sure if you've realized this up until this point, but there is nobody else on this earth that's quite like you. And regardless of all of the randomized controlled trials and all the studies that show what the optimal diet is, none of those publications are tuned to serve you. They're not tuned to serve your best interests. None of those studies were written and say, this is perfect for Austin. Now, that's not to invalidate anything that researchers or doctors have published. I think a lot of those things are great to reference, but to fine tune your health and really get down to the bare bones of what works best for you, there's nothing out there. You're the only person that can do that. And the only way to do that is to assume complete ownership of your health. The second reason you should do that, again, is because the general advice out there is not applicable to your experience. And I can give you a specific example. So I've had clients in the past who ate less and moved more and did not lose weight. And the science says that when you eat less and move more, thereby inducing a calorie deficit, then your body has no choice but to lose weight. Now, I'm not saying that they weren't in a calorie deficit. Maybe there was something going on with their hormones that caused their body to burn less calories. But the point is, taking general advice to reach any goal that you set for yourself is not going to be foolproof unless you tailor that advice specifically for you. And so these studies that are done, they don't take into consideration your lifestyle. They remove all variables to arrive at their conclusions. But guess what? Your life has variables. You wake up in the morning and you have kids to feed. You have to drive to work. You have a coworker at your job that you might not like. That causes stress. You have a relationship that might also be causing you stress, that causes you to overeat. So many different variables that are going on throughout the day. And again, that's why it's extremely important for you to craft a lifestyle that works best for you. And that can only be done, again, by taking complete ownership of your health. The third reason is the system and our culture is set up for you to fail, okay? There's a reason why 1 in 3 adults in this country are pre-diabetic, and that 84% of them don't know it. There's a reason that there's a large percentage of Americans that are obese, and there's a reason why that number is growing. There is some level of personal responsibility that is a factor there, but that means that there's something wrong with our system if the majority of the people in this country are unhealthy. There was a recent study that said that 93% of Americans are not metabolically healthy. To be metabolically healthy means that you have ideal levels of blood pressure, HDL cholesterol, triglycerides, waist circumference, and blood sugar. Only 7% of Americans have ideal levels of those 5 markers, and that's an indication to me that the system is broken. To have fast food restaurants on every corner in a metropolitan area that serve ultra processed foods that keep you hungry, that include ingredients like seed oils that are fried in these things, in these oils. The system is set up for us to be unhealthy. And so in order for you to take complete ownership of your health, you have to realize that the system that we're living in is not set up for optimal health. Otherwise, we all would be experiencing optimal health. And then the last reason for you to take complete ownership of your health is because nobody is coming to save you. Not your doctor, not your mama, not your dad, not your cousin, not your health coach. There is nobody in this world that can make decisions for you that result in what you put in your body and what you do throughout the day. As a personal trainer, one of the biggest things that was a challenge for me was having my clients be just as enthusiastic and passionate about their weight loss journey as I was. Nobody can want your health. Nobody can want you to be healthy as bad as you can want it. You're the only person in the world that can save yourself, especially when you consider that our system is optimized for weight gain, depression, and chronic illness. Who's going to save you from that? You're the only person that can do that. And so with that being said, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about the 4-step process that you can start to take complete ownership of your health. The first step is actually caring about your health. And this is easy for me to say because honestly, it's something that I'm naturally passionate about. But you know what I'm not naturally passionate about? I'm not naturally passionate about finances. I'm not passionate about building wealth. And to be completely honest with you, while I do have sponsors for the podcast, I don't quite care about money the same way that a lot of people do. I don't care about material possessions. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to do things to have financial success? No. The reason why is because I realize that financial success is necessary for me to experience many other things in life that I do enjoy, like taking care of my family. And your health is the same way, right? So in order for you to start caring about your health, you have to attach it to something else that you care about that you also prioritize. Let's go through some examples for you. Let's say you do care about finances, right? Let's say you care about and you're passionate about creating generational wealth or just generating wealth in general. Maybe you're selfish. Maybe you don't care about the generational part. You just want wealth for yourself. Do you realize how important of a role your health plays in that? A perfect example is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett didn't generate a certain percentage of his wealth, the vast majority of his wealth, until after like age 60. If he had chronic illnesses and even struggled with depression or any of the myriad of things that come with poor health, would Warren Buffett be as wealthy as he is today? Probably not. If Warren Buffett didn't have the lifespan that he is currently experiencing and he unfortunately passed away in his 60s, like many people do, due to chronic illnesses, his wealth creation would have stopped at a point before it reached what it is right now. Beyond longevity being an important factor in wealth creation, what about your energy levels, right? What about your creativity? What about your ability to have great conversations by being in a good mood, networking with the right people? If you are sick and you are not prioritizing your health, it is less likely that you are capable of doing the things to generate wealth. And that's a fact. Some of the downstream symptoms, effects, or causes, the downstream effects of poor metabolic health, brain fog, fatigue, mood instability, sometimes pain. You may be feeling gut pain, right? And then on top of that, the financial cost of sustaining your health. If you're taking prescription drugs, if you have to have doctor visits every now and then, you're getting lab tests done. Those things are siphoning money from you. So in order for you to obtain wealth, health has to be your number one priority. So if you are passionate about wealth, great. You don't have to be super passionate about health. But in order for you to obtain the wealth that you're so passionate about, you have to go through and you have to start with having good health. That's just one example. Another example is finding a partner. We know that, or people say that there are not a lot of good candidates out there for partnership, for building a life with. Now, I've been married for 10 years and I've been married since I was 19, so I can't really speak to that. But what I do know is that poor health can inhibit your ability to be a good partner. If you're not healthy enough to have the patience to deal or to sustain a healthy relationship, then it's going to be harder for you to find your person, or it's going to be harder for your person to find you. Let's talk about physical attractiveness. That's the thing. I know that we live in a more inclusive society today, and I am here for that. And I'm not saying that you got to get rid of your belly. Ladies, there are men out there who love bellies, okay? That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is if you have skin tags from your blood sugar being completely out of control, if you have bags under your eyes, if you are overweight and you have visceral fat, those things do affect your level of attractiveness and they impact your ability to attract a mate. And more importantly, those things might, impact your ability to find someone else attractive. So if partnership is what's really important to you and that's like what you're focused on, I implore you to start by attaching health to that passion. Your health can completely change the amount of people that you're exposed to, the amount of people that you are attracted to, and the amount of people that are attracted to you. So that's something else to anchor your health to. Another one is building a family. Let's talk about sexual health. You guys, a lot of people want to have kids. If you want to have kids in the future, we know that infertility is a rising concern in this country, and that is a direct byproduct of our poor health habits. If you're talking about women and the things that they experience, PCOS, endometriosis, these things make it more difficult to bear children. Men with low testosterone and a low sperm count, it makes it hard to conceive. And again, if having children is something that you're passionate about, building your family, taking care of your family, I implore you to anchor that in with health. Attach your passion for family to your growing passion for good health. And then lastly, public service. Maybe you don't want a family. You're not interested in partnership. You riding solo dolo out here, but you do want to create a better world via public service. Maybe you're passionate and you want to start nonprofits to help people. Maybe you want to help house the homeless or, solve breast cancer. These things require you to be in good health. People who serve public office, officials, governors, the president of the United States, if you are unhealthy, again, we just talked about some of the downstream effects of poor metabolic health, brain fog, fatigue. How can you serve the public as best as you can without being in good health? It's impossible. It's impossible. So again, if you're not passionate about health, that's fine. If you don't care about your health right now, okay, that's fine. We can acknowledge that everyone is not going to be as passionate about good health as I am. But some of you guys are passionate about wealth, about finding a good partner, about building a family, about public service, or whatever it is. You guys, good health is at the foundation of everything. Everything we experience in this world starts with good health. And that's why it's important to prioritize it. And if you're having a hard time prioritizing your health, but you do prioritize one of those other things, attach your health to it. Make it a part of your journey to build generational wealth. Health has to be at the foundation. Now that you guys know the first step to taking complete ownership of your health, none of those things are able to be done without having a healthy gut, okay? Let's face it. Your gut health is also at the center of you being able to make money, have good relationships, and many of the other things that you want to accomplish in this world. In order for you to improve your gut health, to accomplish all those things you want to accomplish, you should be having adequate fiber intake throughout the day. Now, the best way to do this is with a diverse group of foods ranging from avocados to raspberries. Maybe you throw some oats in there. But if you're busy like me and you want to increase your fiber intake without thinking of all the different fruits and vegetables and other things that you have to get into your diet, you might be interested in Superguts Fiber Mix. This powder is something that you can add into any of your current dishes that are in your diet. Spaghetti, protein shakes, oatmeal, you name it. It dissolves into your food, you can barely taste it, and it immediately adds 8 grams of prebiotic fiber into your meal. Now, that prebiotic fiber does 2 things. 1, it slows down the digestion of carbs, which helps you to produce a stable blood sugar response with the meals that you're eating. And second, it ferments in your gut and produces something called short-chain fatty acids. These short-chain fatty acids are found to be extremely beneficial to not just your mood and your overall gut health, but also your blood sugar control, which we know is related to so many things that are downstream metabolic health. Every day, I'm aiming for about 40 to 50 grams of fiber, and I'm not going to lie, that extra 8 grams in the Supergut Fiber Mix goes a long way. So if you too want to improve your gut health by increasing your fiber intake, you might want to give Supergut's Fiber Mix a try. Again, the best way to do this is by getting a diverse group of foods into your diet. But if you're short on time, like many of us are, because our systems are set up for us to fail, Supergut's Fiber Mix might be a good option for you. Go to supergut.com to give it a try. While we're on the topic of all the things you can do to take complete ownership of your health, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you guys about one thing that I'm doing in my morning routine that has completely transformed the way that I care for my health. Now, in the past, I would rummage through the pill cabinet looking for my 6 to 7 different bottles of supplements for me to take along with my breakfast. Now, that's changed. All I have to do is go into the fridge, pull out my AG1 by Athletic Greens, dump it into 10 to 12 ounces of water, I mix it up, and I drink it. Boom. That habit of me rummaging through the pill cabinet has completely been replaced by this drink. AG1 has 75 vitamins, minerals, and other whole food source ingredients. Now, I don't know about you, but there's nothing else that I eat during the day that's packed with this many nutrients, especially on days where I'm super busy and I'm not able to slow down to diversify my nutrient intake with foods. I have peace of mind knowing that AG1 helped me meet my nutritional bases first thing in the morning. As you know by now, when it comes to improving your health, it all boils down to your habits, the things that you do consistently day in and day out. Now, if something takes a lot of energy for you to do, like remembering to take a bunch of different supplements, then it's less likely that you're going to be able to do that consistently. Implementing AG1 into my morning routine continues to be the simplest habit that I have to improve my health, and it might be the same for you. So, if you want to take complete ownership of your health, now is a good time to start. Athletic Greens is offering you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. To explore this offer, all you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com/TCHP. Or if you don't like typing in links, you can go to the show notes and you can find that special link there. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/TCHP. The second step in the process of accepting complete ownership of your health is learning more about your body. So there are several ways to learn more about your body. And again, you don't have to be interested to do this, but you can attach it to things that you already do. Many of you guys are looking at blogs, YouTube channels, right? Maybe podcasts. Find a few of them and make those your go-to listens. Your interest in things will grow as you continue to listen to it, okay? That's what the case was for me. Fantasia, my wife, also the co-host of this podcast, used to get on me about all the health stuff. I didn't care. I wanted to have muscles, right? But I didn't care about how I got there. I didn't care about the ingredients I was putting in my body. I wasn't paying attention to the amount of sugar that I was eating. But the continued exposure to the information that she was putting in front of me ended up piquing my interest. And you have to rely on your brain and its natural ability to establish new connections. And if you continue to expose yourself to information, you're going to generate interest in it and you're going to understand how it applies to you. So please just put yourself in front of the information. Podcasts, blogs, YouTube channels. Put it in front of you consistently and watch how your interest in your health continues to change. The second way that you can learn more about your body is fixing the algorithm on your social media feed. Listen, social media is going to feed you what it wants to feed you, but there is a way that you can curate your experience with social media. And if learning more about your body is something that you want to do, then you have to fix what the social media algorithm is feeding you. How I do that is blocking or muting or saying, I don't like this type of content to anything that I see that doesn't align with the goals that I have. So if you went through my Explore page on Instagram, you're going to find stuff about health. You'll find things about bodybuilding. You'll find things about wrestling. Pretty much those three things. Basketball, every now and then, sports. And, you know what I'm saying, it might slide the Instagram modeling every now and then, but when I see that, I click, I don't want to see any more content like this, or I block it, and then the Instagram algorithm, it does what it does, and it starts feeding me the content that I want to see. That's one easy hack that you can use to start feeding yourself information about how your body is working. There are so many experts out there putting out free game. They're putting out free game, including the stuff that you might find on this podcast or on my channels. There's so much free information out there. All you have to do is curate your experience and you'll begin receiving the information that you need to learn more about your body. Last thing you can do to learn more about your body is try different things and see how it makes you feel. Use your body as a testing ground. I promise you won't break yourself, okay? If you want to know how eating sugar let's say 50 to 120 additional grams of sugar per day, you want to know how that's going to affect you? Fine. Do it for a week and see how you feel. Now, there are so many studies out there that'll tell you that you ain't going to feel good when you do that. But try it for yourself and see, and then you'll learn, right? I've done so many things like that. You'll find a video on this YouTube channel about me drinking 8 shots of alcohol to see how it affected my metabolism. That was the primary way that I learned that drinking alcohol can basically suppress your liver's ability to produce new glucose. And so glucose start to plummet because your liver isn't able to produce new glucose because it's busy dealing with all the alcohol that you just drank. That's how I learned that. Trial and error. I implore you to try the same thing, okay? That's the second step in the process of accepting complete ownership of your health. Let's talk about the third. The third step in the process of accepting complete ownership of your health is becoming aware of the habits that contribute to or deteriorate your health. Awareness is key. That means knowing what's going on with your surroundings, your environment, and understanding how it impacts your health. One of the ways you can do that is writing down a list of everything you consistently do on a daily basis. Okay? Now, you don't have to get crazy, and you don't have to write down how many breaths you take. You got to write down how many times you swallow your spit. Not looking for anything crazy like that. But you do want to write down things like how many hours you're sitting throughout the day. Keep track of how much time you're scrolling through Instagram, how often you're snacking, whether or not you're smoking, or how much alcohol you're drinking throughout the day or at night, the cup of coffee in the morning, the commute to work. Write all these things down. These are all things that contribute to your health. And if you write them down, and you can separate them on a column of things that contribute to good health and things that deteriorate my health. And by the end of the week, you will have a comprehensive list of all the things you do. Your current status of your health is a result of all the things you've done in the past. Over the past 120 days, the things that you have done consistently is the reason why you feel the way that you do right now. So if you write down everything you do for a week and you separate that based on what contributes to good health and what doesn't contribute to good health, then you can slowly, not all at once, I'm not recommending anybody do that, but you can slowly start to remove some of the things that don't contribute to good health and reinforce some of the things that do. And over the next 120 days, you'll have a completely different daily routine that contributes to good health. But that only starts with you being aware. The fourth thing, the last step in the process of accepting complete ownership of your health is teaching someone else what you learned. Now, I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, in school, when someone else asked me for help and I was able to offer them my knowledge, it reinforced what I already knew, and it made my knowledge stick longer than it would have if I didn't have to teach somebody else. Teaching is one of the best ways to learn. As a personal trainer, that's one of the primary reasons why I was able to continue to grow over the past 5 years, is because I was teaching other people what I learned. Even now, as metabolism mentor, as a health coach, as I teach other people how to reverse prediabetes and reduce the amount of glucose that's floating around in the blood on a daily basis, I'm reinforcing what I'm learning. And you can do the same thing. You have friends, family, coworkers, right? You can pull these people along with you along your health journey, and you can encourage them to try some of the things that you're trying. Life is meant to be done together. This is something that I just recently experienced. I'm not going to lie. For the past year, I've been like solo dolo, minus my 4 kids and my wife and the few neighbors that I have no choice but to see, who are cool. But life is meant to be done together. And when you have people that you're able to, to lean on for information, and then you also offer your shoulder for other people to lean on, you offer your advice, your expertise, your experience. That's how we're able to continue to thrive as a species. It's by taking note of what was done in the past, comparing it to the experience that we're having, and then changing what we're doing to make a better future. It's just like a relay race, right? If I get to 100 meters and pass the baton, that person doesn't have to start from zero like I did. And neither do your friends, your coworkers. They don't have to struggle with the same things that you struggled with if you're figuring things out on your own. Pull them jokers along with you. Allow them to also experience the things that you're doing to benefit your health. And in turn, you will reinforce some of the knowledge that you've obtained along the way. By now, you're probably ready to take complete ownership of your health. I believe that. And later in this episode, you'll hear me mention a tool that you can use to completely transform the way that you eat. Why should I wait until later in the episode? Let me just tell you about it now. I'm talking about Levels. Levels is an app that's building tech that helps you see how food affects your health via continuous glucose monitoring. Now, I've been monitoring my glucose for over a year now, and it has completely changed the way that I see food, how I eat food, the order that I eat food in, and it's improved my ability to remain compliant to the diet that I choose to live by, which is one that tries to cut out sugar. I'm doing an okay job with that. A continuous glucose monitor is a device that you wear in the back of your arm that allows you to see how food affects your health by seeing how your glucose levels fluctuate throughout the day. So every time you eat something, you might notice that your glucose will rise or fall or remain steady, and that's a good indicator of what you should be eating throughout the day. When you sign up, you receive 2 sensors in the mail that last for 14 days each, which gives you a month to see how your food choices and your lifestyle choices are affecting your glucose levels. The information is delivered directly to your phone, and every time your glucose rises or falls, the app will notify you, and you can make an educated decision based on the information that's provided. Again, it's a level of accountability that's completely changed the way that I eat. It's changed the way that a lot of my clients eat, and I'm sure that it will change the way that you eat too. So if you're really ready to accept full responsibility of your health, I can't speak more highly about what Levels is building and how they're helping thousands of people see how food is affecting their glucose levels. If that sounds like something that you could use in your life, I've dropped an affiliate link in the description of the show notes that could offer you the experience of knowing how your food and lifestyle choices are affecting your glucose levels. And there's an extra benefit. When you sign up using that link, you'll receive 2 additional months on top of your annual membership. After you sign up, I just ask that you do one thing. Keep me posted on your experience. I'd love to hear all about how Levels is helping you improve your health. While we're talking all about how you can improve your health, you'll hear me mention later in this episode how you should do lab tests 2 years to know what's going on inside of your body. Listen, there are ways to get it done inexpensively, but if you want the full shebang bang on what's going on inside your body, you're going to want to get a completely comprehensive lab test done, and sometimes those can be expensive. That's where insurance comes into play. Because if you have a good insurance plan, you may not have to pay anything, or your costs could be reduced. If you don't have an insurance plan in place that can cover some of the costs of the lab tests that you want done, I'm going to point you in the direction of Access Benefit Consultants. Access is my parents' company, and they've been in the business of insuring people for over 30 years. For me personally, as someone who doesn't have a job that offers benefits, I went through Access Benefit Consultants to explore my options and to sign myself and my family up for a plan that worked for our needs. Now, when we go to the doctor, if we want to get labs done, or if we want to put money into a health savings account, we have an option there that we can use to reduce our overall healthcare expenses throughout the year. The process with Access was extremely simple. All I had to do was contact one of their agents, give them some personal information like household size and income, and they sent me plans that worked for my budget and that gave me the amount of coverage that I needed. If that sounds like something you could benefit from, I'm going to implore you to go to accessbenefits.com and either use the quote tool to generate a quote for yourself and enroll yourself, or you can fill out the form on their website and one of their agents would be in contact with you in no time. Again, that's accessbenefits.com. That is pretty much it, you guys. That's how you can take ownership of your health. Now, again, why do you need to take ownership of your health? I'm going to reinforce this because it's extremely important. I said this before earlier in this episode, and I'm going to say it again. Nobody is coming to save you. As unfortunate as that sounds, as sad as that is, you are the only person that can change your life. You're the only person. You can choose a partner. You can hire a coach, a trainer. You can see a doctor. You can hire a therapist. You can do all the things. Everybody can point you in the right direction, but nobody's going to do the work for you. And taking ownership of your health gives you more knowledge to make decisions that benefit you in the long run. Think about where you want to be in 30, 40, 50 years. Maybe when you turn 70, 80, 90, or if you want to live to 120 like I do. Think about how your current habits are affecting those goals. I know it's hard for us to put ourselves in our 85-year-old shoes. I mean, shoot, I'm 31 right now, and at 15, I wasn't doing anything that my 31-year-old self would benefit from. I wish I was. But now that I'm wise enough, the reason why I'm working out so much right now, building muscle, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's cool to look good. Everybody wants to look great. But also because I know that muscle mass deteriorates as we get older. And I want to have as much as possible now so that I have more to lose later. And I can still look, feel, and function how I'm supposed to when I turn 70, 80, 90. So that I can do what? So that I can continue to build wealth. So that I can continue to be a good partner. So that I can continue to build my family. So that I can continue to serve my community. You see how that works? What I'm doing right now feeds into all the other goals that I have. But without my health, how much wealth would I be able to build? Maybe I can be unhealthy and build good wealth. I'm sure there's some very wealthy and unhealthy individuals out there. But how much more would I be able to do if I was healthy? How much more of a good partner would I be able to be if I was healthy? That's how we need to continue to think about this. Like, we have to put our health first. It has to come first. If you're not putting your health first, you're hustling backwards. Because you sacrifice your health, which we've all had phases in our lives where we've done this, where you feel like you have to lose sleep. You eat crap because you're rushing and going from point A to point B. You're not thinking about your health because you're stressed out, because you're going through something stressful in your life, and your health takes, you put it on the back burner. I've done this. Everybody has done this. But for how long are you willing to do this? And how much are you willing to sacrifice your future for current pleasantries? Hopefully not much. Hopefully you're not willing to sacrifice much. Because before you know it, we are all going to touch our older age, our 70s. And beyond that, beyond getting old and wanting to age well, what about how you're experiencing the world today? What about the brain fog that you experience every morning that you think you're curing with a cup of coffee that should be cured with a healthy diet and meeting your micronutrient needs? What about your lack of energy, your lack of focus, your lack of sexual health, the acne that you might have that's causing you to be less confident? All these things are downstream, poor metabolic health, and they can be fixed by you taking complete ownership of your health. Now, those are all like general ideas as far as the process is concerned. There are some specific things you can do to continue to take ownership of your health that will give you feedback that you need in order to make good decisions moving forward. One of those things is wearing a continuous glucose monitor. You guys have already heard the ad on this podcast for Levels, and I'm such a fan that I'm talking about them again. Get a continuous glucose monitor. You do not have to be diabetic to experience the benefits of this technology. Every time you eat something, every time you exercise, every time you're stressed, something is happening to your glucose levels, and this has a direct impact on your overall health. If your glucose is erratic throughout the day, up and down and up and down, that's telling you something about the state of your health. It's also giving you a window into the future of your health. And a continuous glucose monitor exposes that. Another thing you can do is get health screenings done twice a year. Listen, this is just like with finances. I told you guys that I'm not passionate about this. And one thing that I know that I do that I shouldn't do is spend money and not look at your bank account. I can't stand when you spend a lot of money. I ain't trying to log into my account. I'm not trying to see how much money I spent, how much damage I did. I'd rather just wait till I make some more money and then I'll check my account. That's irresponsible. I know that's irresponsible, but shoot, is it a tendency to still do so? Absolutely. And just like it's a tendency for me to spend money and not look at my account because I don't want to know how much I spent, it's just as much of a tendency for you and many others to eat certain things to be sedentary and then bury your head in the sand and not investigate what's going on with your body, not going to your doctor, not getting your screenings done. Something very simple that you guys can do is go to CVS and you can schedule a comprehensive health screening. That'll tell you your blood sugar, your blood pressure, and your cholesterol panel. And you can get it done for like $59, $69. And you can have results in like 72 hours. You don't have to go to the doctor. You don't have to sit in that waiting room. That might give you anxiety. I get it. I get it, man. If you know you're unhealthy, you don't want the bad news. I totally understand that. Again, I ain't trying to check my bank account after I spend a bunch of money, but that's irresponsible. I can't. A financial expert would tell me that's irresponsible, and they would encourage me not to do that. And as someone who's passionate about health, I'm telling you the same thing. If you are unhealthy, you cannot bury your hand in the sand, bury your head in the sand when it comes to your health. It is not serving you well. The third thing that you can do is to track your sleep. Sleep is probably the number one thing that's 100% in your control that you can take advantage of to improve your health. Sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night. You can use an Oura ring. You can use a Whoop strap. Each of these things track really important data related to sleep that you can use to improve your sleep. Heart rate variability, your light sleep stage, your deep sleep stage, your REM sleep stage. And then once you determine those things, you can start playing around with supplementation, taking magnesium in the evenings, see if it improves your sleep, putting away screens at night, maybe doing a sauna an hour or two before bed. You can do things to improve your sleep, but if you're not measuring, how can you improve what you're not measuring? Just like with your glucose. How can you improve your glucose if you're not measuring it? You can eat a healthier diet. You can cut out carbs. And sure, that's working. But to what degree is that working? We don't know. If you're not measuring, to what degree is your magnesium supplementation improving your sleep? You don't know. If you're not measuring your sleep, for real, your REM sleep, your deep sleep, you don't know how those things are improving. You might feel better in the morning, and that's a great indicator. But if you want to really take ownership of your health, you want to start tracking that. You want to see how your sleep is, okay? Another thing you can do is hire a personal trainer for strength training. Someone that's not going to have you in the gym running on the treadmill for an hour. Someone that's not going to have you in the gym trying to make you throw up by doing crazy high intensity exercise. No. Hire a personal trainer that understands progressive overload, that understands the importance of protein intake and how that affects muscle growth. And hire a personal trainer that understands how to exercise with the right form, removing the ego out of the lift. If you can hire a personal trainer that gets that, that can guide you through the process of building muscle because you don't like it, right? You're not passionate about building muscle. It's not something that you look forward to. Fine. Outsource it. Hire someone that's going to keep you accountable for doing it. That's knowledgeable about it. That's another way for you to take ownership of your health. Hire someone that's knowledgeable. Hire a health coach. Hire me. If you're pre-diabetic, this is something that I focus on. How can we get you from being pre-diabetic and trending toward diabetes to reversing that entire situation and restoring your glucose levels to normal? I know exactly how to do it. I can tell you 4 easy ways to get that done. And I can hold you accountable to doing so. But you have to actually reach out for help. Okay? Another thing you can do, meditation. We all live stressful lives. Listen, I got 4 kids ranging in ages 10 to 4. We in the trenches, okay? And we're going to be in the trenches for another 15, 20 years. Stress comes with that. But how can I manage my stress levels to improve my health, to maintain my health? Meditation is great. It's something that my wife and I believe in. You can use, there are several free meditation apps out there. You can use guided meditations. You can just use sounds. You can go to Spotify and type in meditation. And it'll be a host of things. And all you have to do is sit and be quiet and be present. Take deep breaths. Figure out how you can de-stress. Okay? Last thing, finding a partner with similar priorities. Marrying Fantasia was probably one of the best, not probably, it was the best thing that I did for my health. Someone who cares equally about processed food and feeding our kids, real food, limiting sugar in our household. Someone who can hold me accountable when she knows I'm going over the edge with my sugar intake. I have an active Well, it's dormant right now. I have a dormant sugar addiction. If Fantasia sees me walking around with a bag of Skittles, she's going to look at me. She's going to be like, hey, you tripping. What are you doing? Right? We all need that level of accountability. And having a partner, someone who loves you and cares about you and is willing to confront you on those toxic habits that deteriorate your health, that's what we all need. We need people to hold us accountable because we're not supposed to be doing this alone. So let me go over those 4 steps again, all right? To complete ownership of your health. First, care about your health. You can do that by attaching it to something that you're already passionate about, okay? Second step in the process of accepting complete ownership of your health is learn more about your body. Curate your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts algorithm to feed you information that is nourishing to your body, okay? That's going to make you think. That's going to change your habits. And try different things. And follow different resources, blogs, podcasts, YouTube channels. Subscribe to this podcast and listen to every episode. By the end of this season, which is 30 episodes, you will be more interested in your health. I guarantee it. The third step in accepting complete ownership of your health is becoming more aware of the habits that contribute to or deteriorate your health. Write down that list, you guys. Things that contribute to my health, things that deteriorate my health. Separate them and start working through it. Decrease the list of things that deteriorate your health. Increase the things that contribute to good health. And then the last step is teaching someone else what you learn. Be a teacher. Hold your friends accountable. Go out to restaurants and be the person that eats a salad instead of the bread that they put at the table, right? Be the one that is asking the server what type of oils they use to cook the food in. Maybe they do use seed oils, and maybe you still gonna eat the seed oils when you go out to a restaurant. I sure do. But at least it's good to be knowledgeable about it, right? Be the one person in your friend group that inspires the rest of the people in your friend group to improve their health. You be that person. But in order for you to be that person, you have to actually live by example. Live it. You have to actually live it. You have to be an example. And you can start by doing those 4 things or doing many of the other things that I mentioned, like wearing a continuous glucose monitor, tracking your sleep, meditating. Be that person, you guys. Your health is the number one lever that you should pull to accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish. Whether you want to live longer, you want to find the right partner, make more money, be a better dad or mom, right? All these things start with your health. I can't stress this enough. And in order for you to improve your health, you have to take ownership because nobody's coming to save you. All right, you guys. Hopefully that didn't sound too preachy. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Culture of Health podcast, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.